Hey up YouTube, it's time for Tuesday Flying, in which I attempt to fly the drone. Anyway, here we are preparing for takeoff, as it says, and we've done the pre-flight checks. We've got 23 satellites locking on, and we're all set to try and raise the drone off the ground. Initially I had a few problems because of the long grass, but as you can see, it is actually starting to rise. The dizzy height of 2.6 meters. Yes, we're off the ground and it's looking good. So, having had another go, as you can see, I've just relaunched the bird. This time from the back of a DVD case, which was hard enough to get me off the grass. And now I'm hovering at a relatively low height. There's me and Rex in the distance, and at the moment we're just having a wander around the sky, not a very high altitude. It's a big park, as you can see. Quick pan round, and we're coming down a little bit just to check it out, and we've suddenly vanished, and there's myself and Rex, and he's watching a guy in the background who's just walking by, showing no interest, and he's wondering where his treats are. Well, his treats are actually in my pocket, and he knows he's going to get them later. Here we are, trying again from the back of the DVD case. We have to do this because the grass, although it doesn't look long when you're standing on it, it's actually high enough to foul the propellers, and the drone will claim its... Yeah, sorry about that. That's my hairy assistant taking exception to something. Anyway, let's see. We're back up in the air now, and in the distance you can see we're just looking around Skircote Moor Road, which is around... Actually, it's around 200 feet higher than from where I live, so it's quite an interesting area. Got a lot of history, which I'll go into in a later video. And there you can see the church. The church is well known in the area. Now we're looking out over. Oh, so annoying when that happens. Sorry, folks. Yes, the church is well known in the area. It was actually mentioned during the Yorkshire Ripper case, where the poor unfortunate Jacqueline Whittaker was asked by Peter Sutcliffe what the time was, and she looked at the church clock, told him, and unfortunately that was her last move before she was bludgeoned horribly to death. Anyway, moving swiftly on, we're now looking out over the Albert Promenade, and in the distance there's Copley. Now we're panning round to King Cross, not actually King's Cross, the railway station, but it is another area of Halifax, previously old mill workers' properties, but it's not a bad area. And as you can see, it nettles quite nicely at the bottom of the dale. Now we're having a quick pan over King Cross, showing the lovely the lovely array of trees. Looking back on Savile Park, it's a very large park, and although it's widely used by a lot of people, be quiet, Rex. Although it's widely used by a lot of people, even with lots of people in it, it doesn't seem to get very full, which is great for drone flying because you tend not to want a lot of people around. Slowly coming back down to ground level now, and we've gone back up, and now we're having a slow pan round. Same area again, basically. Okay, in this shot you can see the famous Crossley Heath Grammar School, which was previously a Victorian orphanage, and behind that you have the well-known Wayne House Tower Folly, which was originally a dye works chimney, and there's a kind of weird stone pineapple structure on the top, which was added at a later date because the owner of the factory actually wanted something striking looking. And the Wayne House Tower is a very interesting but actually underutilised monument. So at a later date I'm going to be flying around that and hopefully filming it without crashing the drone into the top of the tower. Okay, moving towards Crossley Heath again. Now in the centre of the frame, you can see what is colloquially known as Happy Valley, site of the well-known TV series, otherwise known as Sowerby Bridge or Sowerby Bridge to you Southerners. Behind that you've got the villages of Mythe and Royd, and behind that, which you can probably barely see, is Hebden Bridge. So here we are back again. So at the risk of repeating a lot of footage, the idea of this particular flight was really just to familiarise myself with the drone, in particular trying to fly it forwards and backwards successfully, and do a little bit of panning around and just getting to know the thing in general. I mean, it may sound odd that I need to figure out how to fly it forwards and backwards, but when you bear in mind that once it's reached a decent altitude, it really is just a little grey speck in the sky, and in Yorkshire that can be a problem because the sky's grey a lot of the time. So if you're flying the drone backwards, when you press forwards on the stick to actually try and move it, everything is in reverse. So it's important to get this right. Actually, here I am again. The drone is actually still flying at a very low level. I think maybe a couple of meters. As you can see, Rex has gone to sleep because he's so excited. The treats still haven't appeared, and now we're looking back over Copley Way. The concrete block-like structure that you just saw earlier is a large block of modern flats, which has got a fantastic view of the dale over Copley. Now, as you can see, the sun's come out a bit. The auto exposure on the drone hasn't quite worked as intended. Everything looks a bit bright, but the sun's come out, so there you go. It's not all bad. Looking back at Skirkirkmoor Road again, there's a bit of a haze on the horizon, and the traffic is pretty light today. So another thing to bear in mind, as this is the first real flight that appeared to go very smoothly, is that the camera on the drone is actually an amazing piece of equipment. It's capable of shooting 4K video at 60 frames a second, and it can take still pictures maximum of 48 megapixels. So obviously this footage here is using quite a low resolution. I think it's 1080 pixels, 30 frames a second. This is just for a trial. Obviously, as I get more experienced with this, it's going to improve. But at the moment, one thing I have to bear in mind is that a lot of the camera settings can't actually be altered until the aircraft is flying. And when you have 25 to 30 minutes of flight time, it helps to be able to get these settings done very quickly. Here you can see me, this is a controller display showing me messing around with the camera settings. Rex has woken up now and it's nearly time for treats, and that's where we must go. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.